Hey folks, it's Julie and Miranda here with Comic Talk number 3 and our special guest reviewer all the way from the south of France, Claire.
Hi there.
So, we are still going to endeavor to make all of our reviews within 10 minutes. We're going at super speed today, and we're going to get started. Jumping in today with Archie Comics number 1, and this is the new reboot that they've done. They're making all of the characters that we know and love a little more accessible and modernized. So what's happened here in this book is that Archie and Betty, lifelong neighbors and a couple since kindergarten, have broken up due to the lipstick incident, and it has shaken the very foundation of the school. So it's up to their friends to try and show Archie and Betty that they are fated to be together. But what will happen when the Lodges move into town with their new teenage daughter? Check out number 2 to find out.
So my first comic book is Quarriors. So basically it's the story is actually quite simple. The humans seem to have got extinct and the animal kingdom has taken over. We follow the lives of as a member of the clan Tin Can. They're having trouble to survive. There are plague going on, there are several attacks, so they're forced to interact with other clans. So the only problem is while Tin Can seems to have human-like values, the other clans are pretty hostile and violent. So although this comic book shows adorable anthropomorphic-like creature, it's not for kids, do not be mistaken. It's quite violent and hyper-realistic, but this actually is the main reason why I love this comic book. The art is simply magnificent. Ashley Wheeler, the artist, is brilliant, and you're gonna love looking at all the drawings. So yeah, go for it.
And so my first one is Simpsons Treehouse of Horror. It's number 21. It's similar to the TV Treehouse of Horror, that it's a collection of mini Halloween stories. I think this one has 3. And yeah, they're just a little spooky fun stories. One follows Apu, one follows Homer and his family, and the one is centered around Ned Flanders. They're not like insanely scary. It's kind of like that show where it's just kind of fun, cute little spooky stories. I really like the first 2. The third one, it was a good story. I just didn't find it was very Halloween themed. It wasn't very scary or attempting to be spooky, so I wasn't the biggest fan of that one. But the other 2 are really good, and the art is just really cute. Just kind of reminds me of the old Simpson days, so I really enjoyed it.
And the Simpsons book, they're like watching the show, right?
Oh, like, exactly. Like, the art style is exactly like the TV show, just not moving.
That's awesome. I love it when you can read a book that's based on a show and actually hear characters' voices in your heads. Alright, next up for me today is Batman Arkham Knight Genesis number 1 of 6. You may notice this is the cover for number 2. We had to sell the last copy of number 1 last night before we had a chance to film. Sorry folks, but this is what the number 2 looks like. Also, warning, huge spoilers for the game coming. If you don't want to know who the Arkham Knight is, I highly recommend skipping ahead about 15 seconds, starting now. So this book opens up and we see the Arkham Knight with Ratcatcher, and he's being dark and broody and all of that fun stuff. And then we move very quickly into some backstory on the Arkham Knight, and we see right around page 4, he takes off his hood and it's Jason Todd as the Arkham Knight, and I was so happy. So all of this book is backstory for Jason Todd and showing us how he goes from being kind of a street rat to being Robin with Batman. I can't wait for the rest of this series to see what story they're going to tell us. It's phenomenal. The art is beautiful. I wanted to, as soon as I put the book down, I wanted to go play the game. So if you have any interest in the Batman Arkham series, pick this one up because it gives you a look at who the Arkham Knight is. And it's phenomenal!
So my second comic book is Neozoic. So right from the start we learn that in Earth's distant past a spaceship crashed into an asteroid that was supposed to end the dinosaurs. So the dinosaurs are not extinct and they are coexisting with humans, which is pretty cool. You follow the lead character Lily right on the cover. She's part of the squad that basically keeps the bad dinosaurs out of the human settlements. So I don't want to give too much of the story, but yeah, you follow her adventure and her friends. So why I like this comic book, basically dinosaurs is the answer. I mean, I'm a big Jurassic Park fan, so I mean, yeah, you had me at dinosaurs. It's actually more heroic fantasy than science fiction. They don't mention any technology, it's more fighting with swords and bows, so yeah, the fights get pretty intense because when you fight a T-Rex with arrows, like it can be pretty intense, but really loved it. I mean, we don't learn too much of the story yet, like I'm waiting for number 2 to go out, but yeah, if you like dinosaurs and heroic fantasy, go for it.
I mean, who doesn't like dinosaurs?
Yeah.
What's not to love?
Seriously, come on.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So my second book is Agent Carter #1. I believe it's a one-shot, but don't quote me. It's for the 50 years of S.H.I.E.L.D. Essentially, it follows Agent Carter and how Nick Fury and S.H.I.E.L.D. are trying to recruit her. So they kind of give her a mission to see, to kind of test one of the new recruits they're thinking of hiring, I guess, and it is the one and only Lady Sif. So essentially, it is just some shenanigans Agent Carter and Lady Sif get into, you know, being two completely opposite people, you know, one's a human, one's an Asgardian. I thought it was a cute book. I'm a big fan of Lady Sif, so it was really fun watching her interact with kind of Midgard and like the human world and stuff like that. The art's okay. I wasn't a big fan. It's not like it's bad. I think it just isn't the greatest art, but that aside, it was still a really cute book, fun adventures and stuff like that, and I definitely recommend it.
Alright, third and final for me today is Awake #1. And I have to admit, I picked this book up off the shelf because of the cover. I looked at it and went, oh my goodness, this is so adorable. I must read it. And I was not disappointed. So this book has a young Reagan on a mission, one that her older brother began, but seems to have failed. And now it's up to her to wake the planet and, you know, save everything. I loved it. It doesn't give you too much of the story coming into it. It really draws you in. You have a mixture of animals that we know and love, like foxes, and fantasy animals that are able to speak and communicate. I just really enjoyed it. Great for all ages. And I can't say enough good things about this book today, and I loved all 3 of my books today. So check this one out too. It's just a really cute fantasy story full of magic and adorable things.
Pretty good summary.
It's full of magic and cuteness, so read it.
Where could you go wrong?
Exactly.
So third and last one for me is Batman. So the writer of this comic book, Dan Jurgens, is behind Batman Beyond at DC Comics. So this is basically, I'm going to show you the first page. So Batman is an alien kid, as you can probably tell. He's got banished on Earth, which is not really sad for him. I mean, he's pretty thrilled because he's a super Batman fan and he really wants to meet his best bud, which obviously not the case for the real Batman. So basically you follow his adventures. It's pretty cool because you get to meet a lot of the DC franchise characters. So Hawkman, for example, I'm not giving too much of the story, it happens quite early, but yeah. So why I love that comic book, basically because it's just fun and really humoristic tone. You get pretty annoyed sometimes at Batman because he just gets himself in so much trouble for nothing. But I mean, you still love him like a real kid. So, I mean, it was really cool. Actually, on a personal anecdote, I ended up learning a lot of stuff from the English language because Batman loves to make up some expression. I remember one was Great Scissors Ghost on a Pogo Stick. I don't know if it's a thing in the English language, but I'm definitely going to use that one on a daily basis from now on. So yeah, if you like fun comic book, just go for that one.
Both fun and educational, definitely. My last one is Miracle Man #1. This did not come out this week. Actually, #2 is on the shelves this week, but we thought we'd review it and whatnot. So essentially, it's about a group of people who are going on a pilgrimage to meet Miracle Man and hopefully get their prayers answered. Miracle Man has a lot of history behind him. I haven't read them, However, I don't think it's necessary. I think this is like a new era of Miracle Man, so it's easy to just kind of jump right on and get into it. It's not like regular superhero comics. It kind of threw me off first reading it. It's a lot of narrative and not even a lot of dialogue. There's some in there, but it mostly focuses on the narrative. And I really like that. It was an interesting story, and it makes you really think. So I think this is definitely a book more for adults, due to there's a little bit of graphic violence, but also just kind of the themes in it. It's very kind of mature. But that being said, it was a really great read, and it's nice to kind of take a step back from all the superhero comics and fighting and stuff like that, and just read something that just makes you stop and have to think and whatnot. So I'm excited to see where this goes. I feel like it's heading in a really good direction, so I'm excited to add this on my list.
And that's the run that's being written by Neil Gaiman right now, right?
Correct, yeah.
Yeah, so Gaiman fans, check it out.
Jump on that.
Absolutely. All right, that is us for the week. Glad you tuned in, and we'll see you again next week.
Bye.
Bye.